He's on the loo. Going to the loo. I don't know if he's on the loo or just going. One of those two, though. Two. Here he is. He's coming. I can hear him. There we go. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, Sunny Hill. It is 4 o'clock.
Good afternoon.
And it's forethought.
It's forethought. It's Thursday.
Yeah.
18th of June.
18th of June. Exactly 3 weeks to the day
Since you last did it.
since we did forethought.
Yeah.
And talked about hospitals and about how you should download movies in case you have to go to the hospital in an emergency.
You should always have.
And I didn't.
Here's what you said. You should always have a movie on your phone. And then what happened like an hour later?
I broke my arm,
He broke his arm.
as you can see, and I didn't download. I had nothing downloaded.
You had nothing downloaded? That is just terrible,
Yeah, it
Jay.
is.
After all that, you
Yeah.
gave such sage advice.
I did, but I can now. I don't know if you can read that. It says still working on my landings. I don't know if people want to see. Can I show scars on Facebook? If people want to see that.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want to see scars, I'm sure, don't you?
Yeah. So I had surgery, and it was really fun. I loved it. It was my favourite. And let me just come around so you can see. All graphic
Prepare
details.
yourself if you're a bit squeamish, maybe.
Oh yeah. So if you're squeamish, look away.
Look away now.
So there's one, and I've got one. I don't know if you can quite see that on the other side. So running down there. This isn't my actual skin. This is like a cling film thing that they put on. That should come off in
a few
a
days.
week or something.
A few days.
I was thinking if I was doing forethought next week, I would have taken it offline because apparently it's going to be really satisfying and kind of horrible.
Does it hurt?
Only when I try and fix it because I got physio things that I need to do.
I mean, does it hurt to take off the cling film?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't taken it off.
Is it like taking off gaffer tape or something? That'll be fun.
Couldn't say.
I would do it.
You'll do it.
Yeah.
There we go.
So how's your week going? Everybody all right?
Yeah. Who's on the comments? Nanny's here. Nanny B. Hey, Nan.
Nanny B.
Nanny V.
Nanny B.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Schools are back, aren't they?
Some of them.
Yeah.
Some of them. And in fact, you got an email, didn't you?
I had a
last week?
scare this week.
Which
So
scared
I'm year
you.
13, so I would, if exams had carried on like normal, would have finished them last week.
Yeah.
And so then I got an email from the school a few days ago, and it said, year 13s, you're going back to school on Monday, and it laid out a big thing of what we should expect, like the work ethic and everything. And I was so good. I tried to call the school multiple times. They didn't pick up. I called my friend, and then we're both panicking. But then he called his friend, and it turns out that they call the old year 12s now new year 13s.
Because the exams had finished.
Because the exams are finished, so
it was the guys who were going to be.
Why
year
did they
13.
do that?
That was a bit cruel, wasn't it?
It was. Why would they do that? They said keep checking teams, and so I did, like they told me to.
But you were going to have to do lessons.
I've deleted it
They
now.
sent you all the lesson timetable, didn't
Yeah.
they? Why am I going to do lessons? I'm not even doing any
Yeah.
exams now.
Actually, speaking of the other elephant in the room, I really need a haircut. Look at this. This is monster.
Any idea when hairdressers are opening? Do we have any?
Yeah, does anyone know? That would be kind of helpful. I could look it up. But
He won't let me do it.
No.
I've got my clippers. I did my own. A few weeks ago, and I think I've done a pretty good job.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I love it. It's my favourite.
Yeah.
But we've got Steve Robinson.
Hey, Steve, and Chris. That's
You got it on yours, you know. Oh, you don't.
That's Auntie Lou's mum,
Ah.
Chris Windiat. She thinks you're pretty impressive.
Oh, pretty impressive. Thank you.
Yeah. And Tayana's on, and Teresa. Hey, Teresa. Nice to have you with us.
So I said good luck in school, break a leg. Thanks for that.
And actually, somebody says, Tayana says that Dom's pretty good at cutting hair. You gonna let your uncle
No,
Dom?
he's not.
Your uncle Dom could do it, couldn't he?
No, that's not happening.
No.
I feel like he'd do one of those prank videos for the kids' church.
That would be fun. It'd
No.
be really funny. Just a little off the side.
Yeah. Yeah. Nobody cared who I was before I put on the mask.
So before you came on, I was trying. We watched
Oh, yeah.
we watched a YouTube video of a guy who can balance anything.
Anything. Yeah.
Like anything on top of anything, it's just really good. He was balancing washing machines and bicycles and
stupid stuff. And then I was trying to balance this coin, and I was really struggling.
And I was trying to balance my laptop right here, like this.
Come on. Wait. Have this, your hand slightly out of shot.
Yeah, there we go.
Wait, no, you need to turn it. No, turn this, look like this. Like this.
Oh, I see.
And then you let go. I've got it, you can let go.
It's wobbling all over. So I couldn't do it. I couldn't balance even a simple laptop. No.
Yeah, and I struggled to balance this coin.
She's Chana here. She's got a really good point. Pretty sure you have a barber in
your
family.
Yeah, actually.
We do.
Yeah.
But he lives
and
a
it's
while
not Dom.
away. It's not Dom. No, it's not Dom. It's Uncle Lee.
Uncle Lee, yeah.
And I'm sure he'd be very willing to cut your hair. Although I don't know whether he would or not, because they're all in lockdown. And we haven't seen those side.
I haven't seen those people.
Those people. That side of the family. We don't talk about that side of the family. We haven't seen those for a few weeks.
Yeah.
So your mother says utterly unconvincing balancing.
No,
that's kind.
It's a nice little encouragement from Mum right there. Thanks for that.
Nothing like a little boost.
Yeah.
Thank you. So, what have you been doing, and what have you been?
You know what I've been doing, and what I've been doing is not a whole lot.
Not a whole lot. You see, he found a job. You've been working in a care home, haven't you, up until 3 weeks ago?
Up until 3 weeks ago.
And how was that going?
That was fine, yeah, it was great. I loved it.
What's your favourite bit?
So, I worked night, and my favourite bit was probably watching The Chase.
You watch telly?
Well, okay, so it's night shift, so ideally everyone's asleep, but it's also dementia, so dementia doesn't know that it's night time. And the floors that I was normally put on, the people weren't high maintenance. It wasn't a difficult shift. It wasn't,
okay.
But it was quite chilled. But it was just being on call, making sure everyone's okay.
You were kind of turning people and
but it wasn't difficult. But I loved it. It was fan. It was fan.
It was fan. What's fan?
It was
is that like youth lingo for something?
No, it was great. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. But since then, I've been in bed.
Signed off by the doctor.
Yeah.
But you have been doing your kind of physio exercises.
Yeah. So I couldn't. Let's take this off. So I was when I first got back from the hospital, because my arm had been still for 2 weeks.
It was so fat. It was like
it was huge.
Massive.
And my hand is still kind of orange. I don't know if the camera can pick that up, but it's like a bit orange. Anyway, so my arm was like locked here, and I could not move it. And so I've really been pushing it, and I've got it down to there, but I still can't fully stretch it out yet. I'm getting there, and I can move my wrist now. Yeah.
So if we say praise the Lord,
yeah.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
So what have you been thinking about? You got any thoughts for people today?
Little one today, but I think it's important nonetheless. So I just want to emphasise that we've been in lockdown, and we've been hearing a lot of about pushing through this, and about how we're all going to be much better. Well, not better, but we're gonna better than now on the other side of lockdown. And about how it's this kind of horrible thing.
That was the chair, by the way.
Yeah. It's kind of a horrible thing that we can't see our friends face to face, and we can't go to our clubs. But I've sort of been stirred by this book I've been reading recently in the last couple of weeks called The Insanity of God.
Who's that by?
It's by a guy called Nick Ripkin.
Okay.
And he's a missionary in Somalia in the 80s and 90s. I don't know if it's
80s and 90s.
Longer than that.
1880s and 90s or 90s?
Yeah, no, 1880s. No, 1980s and 90s.
Okay.
That's not his real name, but he wasn't allowed to put his real name for the reason because he's still out there.
Where?
No, he's moved on from Somalia now, but he was in Somalia. But anyway, it was talking in quite explicit detail about kind of all of the terrible stuff that was going on in there at the time. And it's just got me thinking, our lives, lockdown or not, are pretty great.
It's when you start to compare yourself to other people.
And we need to remember that God has blessed us all so much. We're like in lockdown, out of lockdown. We're all so blessed.
It's perspective, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And you know, I obviously it's a good thing to say, you know, we're going to push through this because we're not used to this kind of living. But at the same time, we need to recognise that, like, what God's done for us essentially. And at the moment, we're Ripken, R-I-P-K-E-N.
Rickman, she said.
No, it's Ripken.
Ripken.
Yeah.
So that's not right.
That's not right. No.
Okay, so
nearly.
Sorry, Fru. Nearly. Ripken.
But yeah, that's essentially all I wanted to bring today, because I think it's important that we're not just expecting to get a taste of what life has to offer us now, because again, we're so blessed. Like the guys that put on church on Sunday and, for example, worship, they're not doing it so we can get a taste of what it's like to be having like worshipping God or feeling the Holy Spirit. No, we want to live it now.
Yeah, we do. It's not about the future. It's about
we're not called to live for the next thing. We're called to see what God has for us now. So,
yeah, that's a really good thought, Jace.
Yeah, that's what.
And I love the idea of getting a perspective on your situation. I think we can all do with that at some stage. I love. Is it in Ratatouille? Ratatouille, where the critic, what's it? Igor. Anton Ego. He says, what does he say? You provide the food, and I'll provide the perspective.
Yeah.
But I think actually, if we need to get a perspective on where we are, actually, what the life that we live, despite it being unusual, is definitely not as bad as many people live all the time.
Yeah.
Which is
exactly.
That's. I'll call him back in a bit. Okay. He's obviously calling to give you an appointment.
Give you an appointment.
To book.
Get a time.
Cut your hair. What does Tayana say there?
I say, so true. We often are waiting for the next thing before we can start something. We need to live for today.
Amen.
There it is.
Amen. Amen.
Great.
Live for today.
Yeah. Thank you very much for watching today's Forethought.
What about all those people who were praying for you when you were?
Oh my goodness! Thank you so much. I was meant to say I had it on my notes, but I didn't. Tried not to use. But yeah, thank you so much. It really did mean a lot, and I believe that
there were loads
better
of people
because of it. You know.
Loads of people.
Yeah, actually, we had an appointment to put this cling film thing on my arm just a few days ago, and the nurse saying, you know, it's actually looking really good. It's healing up amazingly, and there are no concerns. So
that's really good.
Really great.
Thank you
so much
for your pairs.
Yeah.
Thank you for your pairs.
So I'll work on my landings.
Yeah, work on your landings. Yeah, thank you for your prayers, and have a great weekend. Don't forget this coming Sunday.
Church.
Stop. I'm just looking.
No, yours is fine. So we're good.
This coming Sunday, church normal 11 o'clock. We're back with Dom and Lou, and it's going to be a great time together.
Yeah.
Forethought tomorrow. I don't remember who's doing it. It might be Teresa, possibly, but somebody will be doing it. And guys, we love you. Have a great Friday.
Bye-bye.
Weekend. Bye.